remember that E-Tank thing from the start of the film? Of course you don't. Nevertheless, the drunken driving of the team who took that draws the attention of Kamen Rider W, or more accurately, one half of Kamen Rider W. You see, W is actually two freelance detectives who occasionally fuse together to fight crime with the power of their double uvula. Except later in the series when the fusion thing isn't really necessary to draw out the powers, but they were so accustomed to being inside each other by that point, they just usually did it anyway. So Team W, or U2 as they prefer to be called, have apparently just been pulling over people for traffic violations ever since their show ended. Or at least one member has. Bono's just been kinda off in his own world. No, literally, he's like a cyborg or something, and there's a big matrix library in his brain. Look, you really have to have a double uvula to understand. Anyhow, Bono's looking up what love is or something, so the Edge makes do on his own to pull over the men in white. Sensing that the white man is inherently evil, the Edge turns into Kamen Rider Single U and kicks their science asses. Which is what scientists have instead of asses. Look, you need a lab coat to understand. But somehow, as the fight went on, the E-Tank spills into the sewer. Wait a minute. Donna Troy gets introduced in this movie. Holy fucking shit, he's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle! Starfield Fish, who cares? This movie just got amazing. I almost actually want to see Force as part of the... Oh, I guess we're already going there. Bono and the Edge got snubbed. That wasn't even 5 minutes. Nevertheless, we're finally off to Spacey Space High, wherein we see Team Papajour and Fjarzengard cosplaying as old riders. Except for one, that is, J.K. Rowling, the group's effeminate Eeyore, who tells the rest of his friends that cosplaying is for sissies. Real men spend their time putting on makeup and nail polish on only one hand. You'll never score with chicks the way you're going. This hits a nerve with Fjarzengard, and he soon starts to mope for the lack of tail he's gotten. He says words along the lines of, only 4 or 5 girls have fallen for me at the point of my TV series in which this movie takes place. Poor him. Well, on with the plot, we see a girl falls out of the sky in slow motion, with a hearty cry of dibs. Fjarzengard rushes out to catch her, to prevent the soft landing in the grass. Afterwards, we find out the Sky Girl is mute and expressionless, making her Fjarzengard's type. I can't wait to see where this is going. They eventually sort the mute girl's name by stealing her wallet. It's Nadeshiko. That's a dumb name though, so I'll call her Gekiganger 3. And right about here, space ninjas arrive to liven up the proceedings. Fjarzengard fights them, not really having trouble in the least, but all that does is cue the next lucky appearance. Yeah, I know, they had the cues queued up beforehand. So, Gekiganger 3 steps up, and holy crap, she's a Kamen Rider! Nothing could have prepared me for that! Not even if they spliced it into the intro for every episode of the show for, what was it, 3 months? My god, a rider with boobs. Besides the Edge. Now back to it. She's killing grunts, and quite violently. She snaps one's neck to girly sparkle noises. But wait, a more important villain is ordering around the lackeys. This shit just keeps blowing my mind. But of course I was referring to the sinister strawberry ice cream head lady. She defeats Fjarzengard with a whirlwind of flavor, but then he turns the tides with Gekiganger 3's help. Even though Strawberry Ice Cream Head Lady was a lot stronger in the show, Well, Strawberry Ice Cream Head Lady runs off, and after the fight, Gekiganger 3 looks at Fjarzengard with a look that says, "Show me what is kiss." And subsequently, she just parrots everything Fjarzengard says, making Fjarzengard fall even more in love with her. Meanwhile, several hours later, Boring Douchebag has found out from the internet that the Amnesiac Girl is most likely a T-1000 series liquid metal machine organism. You see, she's what was in the E-Tank from before, which spilled into the sewer and then copied the form of the nearest living creature. Said creature, of course, being a brain-dead Japanese schoolgirl that was thrown in the sewer. And of course, by turning into a Japanese schoolgirl, it fell from the sky, the pearly sky of Spacey Space High, which was nowhere near where it fell in the sewers. It's not even the school the copied girl attended. All the same, that's how it is, and the new knowledge bums out Fjarzengard, prompting him to ask the stupid question, what do you do when you find out the girl you like is slime? Luckily, Fjarzengard's friend Excitable Girl is there to remind him that lots of people, And yes, even she can get pretty well turned on by slime girls. Of course, as Fjordsengard comes to terms with this, boring douchebag has already handed over the now liquefied Gekiganger 3 to the evil scientists. Oh yeah, he has a reason for trusting the evil scientists. You see, he's a dumbass. Luckily, Fjordsengard makes it over to wherever that's going down in order to stop that from going down. He inspires everyone with a passionate defense of his now apparent robot slime girl superhero fetish. Alas, evil scientists are evil, so half an hour after that, they complete half-turning into humanoid monsters, and they're ready for some fighting. A shame it doesn't happen until Fjordsengard remembers that he too can transform, which is some 93 hours later. But when it does happen, Gekiganger 3 joins and they both beat up the monsters, yay. Well, Gekiganger 3 does it a bit more decisively, snapping another one's neck, this time after we've seen it was a real person who turned into the monster. But by the time we get up to one of the boss scientist monsters, we go to Fjordsengard's pace. By which I mean Fjordsengard knocks down the foe, then his team of pals surround him to prematurely congratulate him on his victory, and then Gekiganger 3 gets shot. Burped at. Evil Banshee burped at. By Hugo Weaving, who's presumably the guy who did that earlier in the movie. Hugo does a slow, evil laugh here. He. Said laugh, revealing that he is in fact also Jack Nicholson. Wacko Hugo tells Fjordsengard to sacrifice himself for the one he loves. Which, given the context, I do not think means what the translator thinks it means. But for the knowledge his new love Gekiganger 3 is dead, or rather melted into some kind of pure energy USB drive. Look, there's stuff I don't mention, really. For that, Fjordsengard now needs time to cry like a baby. To give him time to do that, no, really, they made that part of the plot. Fjordsengard's pals line up to stall the enemy. At last, the mighty hot dog robot hasn't joined the crew yet, so his friends don't last for 2 seconds. But no worries, Fjordsengard's on his feet in 1.6. Fjordsengard might be a creepy son of a bitch, but he doesn't fuck around. He uses Gekiganger 3's fallen gadget to avenge her, thus ending things except for the other villains who got away with her energy in that USB drive I mentioned. But before you can say end of Act 3, Pajama Sam rides in on a motorcycle and asks Fjordsengard, "Oh hi Papa Jorn, Fjordsengard. I was wondering if you're a bad enough dude to make this a crossover."